Hi everyone, tonight I'll be reviewing Pixar's The Incredibles. This review was suggested to me by my friend Nathan. The Incredibles is one of Pixar's most popular movies, probably because it's a superhero movie. Everyone loves superhero movies, just look how much Marvel's doing. But at the same time, there's far more to it than that. On the surface level, it has great action sequences that are beautifully animated and they're gripping to watch. You never know how they're going to get out of a circumstance. You're wondering what's going to pop up next. And that really is a good part of a nice action movie. The powers are also really fun, and I think that they do more with them than could be allowed in a live action film. When Dash is running, he gets bugs on his face. They use their powers for everyday activities often, like tussles at dinner or doing household chores. Another thing that's really fun with this movie is just how they can be so casual with their conversation in the face of danger, or they're having an argument, like typical family arguments over, are we there yet? Or whether parents are listening to each other, which makes it really entertaining to watch. The animation for this movie is great. It was only Pixar's sixth theatrical film, and up until that point, they hadn't made a film exclusively with humans as the main characters because it just didn't look quite right yet. Uh, Toy Toy Story was one of the main examples of this. Because of the plastic looking, they decided to go with that and make the characters toys. But now with The Incredibles, they were able to fully animate humans, and it really worked for the film's benefit, and it made the characters more relatable to finally have humans, superpowered or not, as the leads. And more so than that, I think that the story is much more human than other animated films. Ideas that come up are family issues, wanting to relive the glory days, while also wanting to move forward with the future. Other ones that come up are infidelity, which is handled really well, and it's even called out by words such as you lousy, unfaithful to timing creep, or something along those lines. I think that's close enough. Undervaluing one's family, the idea of losing them, the idea of not being able to do something alone but not wanting to risk your loved ones, wanting to be special but also fear of being ostracized for not being normal. And we see a lot of services in this movie, and they don't have other people's best interest at heart, really. They aren't pure evil or anything, but like businesses, money comes first. An example of this would be InsureCare. Gilbert Huff doesn't care much about the people as much as money, and if Bob does tell people how to get around obstacles and loopholes, he will call him out on it and get really angry. Schools aren't the best place for those supers. They tend to act out, especially Dash, and various ways that these characters are struggling to get through life make it more relatable for us. Violet is a really awkward teenage girl, and it's interesting seeing how it would affect someone to have these powers in addition to other teen issues at this delicate time. It also brings up more interesting ideas with the superhero genre, such as what if people weren't appreciative of the supers and their contributions? Mr. Sansweet tries to kill himself only to be saved by Mr. Incredible. Sansweet has no gratitude at all, and he even says Mr. Incredible ruined his death, and this leads to the ban on supers. And other traditional ideas are really challenged in this movie, such as capes. Edna Mode brings up a very good reason as to why capes shouldn't be part of a superhero's outfit. And no spoilers, but in the end, it turns out to be a pretty important monologue. You've probably already seen the movie, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. The characters in this movie are some of Pixar's most layered. Mr. Incredible is a great dad for the most part, but he also undervalues his family. He wants those glory days, but he needs to move forward to the future. And again, they don't make it that he's wrong to want one way or the other. It really comes together in the middle for him. He doesn't feel strong enough to come up with to cope with the idea of losing his loved ones, but he isn't ready to work with anyone. He feels like he has to do it all alone. This makes for a nice layered character, and while there are times when he makes decisions that might seem selfish at first, he also already has the best interests of people at heart, and even in his job he's doing all he can to, at risk to himself, make the better difference for other people's lives. Elastigirl, or Helen, unlike Bob in the opening, didn't want to settle down, and the interesting thing is that they both have switched roles, really, and now Helen has adjusted far better than Bob has. There are times when she does miss the glory days, it's clear to see, but at the same time, she thinks that family should come first, and she wants what's best for them. Dash and Violet are two well-written kids. Dash has trouble acting out, but he's not really a bad kid. He just has a lot of energy and potential that he doesn't know what to do with. Violet is one of the best characters in the film. Seeing her grow from being unsure of herself to confident and able to protect her full family for the force field at the end is a really great way to see the character progress. Watching all four of them fight together in various scenes is another highlight of the movie, and seeing how far they've come. Syndrome is a great villain. A lot of times we'll see the villain first and then why he is that way, while we see the opposite here. Because we're starting in the beginning, we get to see an idea of a character that's just a great annoying kid, but no, he turns out to be the villain. It really shows the idea of consequences of all choices. This movie is set in 1962, and they really get the idea of the time down, I believe. We see newsreels 15 years before, which are in black and white. That would be 1947, where people would view newsreels before films. And little details are seen in the animation that fit with the time. Like, there aren't seatbelts in the car because that wasn't really an importance at the time. And because of this time frame, some of the gadgets can seem a little off, but at the same time, one could also argue that that makes it more special, the idea of how far the supers are ahead of our time, that they were like 50 years ahead of their own. Now there's one character I did forget to mention before, well, two, and you're going to hate me for it, but I'm remembering now. Frozone and Edna Mode, two of the best characters in the movie and everyone's favorites. Honey, where's my super suit? What? Where is my super suit? No caps. Some of the best lines in the film. Frozone, similarly to the other two, seems to say what he wants in a relationship, but like Helen and Bob, it's the total opposite of what he gets. He gets the presumably human Honey who doesn't want him reliving the glory days even more than Helen doesn't want Bob reliving them. He's also a great friend to Bob, and his ice powers lead to some great animation and action sequences, from the running on water to just how he was able to freeze the bullet right before it would hit them in the jewelry store scene. Edna Mode is one of the funniest characters in any Pixar movie, and just seeing her designs and all she's capable of, I think are really admirable. Now, I've read some really interesting theories on her that she was responsible for those superhero suit designs, so that's why she is so against capes, and she never looks back. She focuses on the now. I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now. Yeah, that was bad Edna Mode impression. But yeah, and that really ties into the movie. You have to move on from the past, but hold on to just a little bit of it when you're making something new, so you can always look back on the glorious days fondly. And just seeing how she just dominates the scene, even when everybody around her is 2 or 3 times her size. Pull yourself together. There are a lot of subtle things in this film, even with word choices like "no man is an island," "no man is an island," which is a phrase which I think I found this online. I forget where, but it really makes sense to me too. No man is an island is an idea of saying how none of us are truly alone. We don't have to do anything by ourselves completely, which really fits in with the idea of family and teamwork. Another part is Syndrome's password for his computer is Cronus, which, if anybody knows mythology, was a Titan lord who usurped his father Uranus, and later usurped himself by his children the gods. In a way, this fits Syndrome. He wants to usurp the heroes, but of course he gets usurped himself in his own process. Overall, The Incredibles definitely deserves its place as one of the most memorable and exciting Pixar films. It's so much more than just exciting action sequences. It raises serious topics from everything from suicide to infidelity to just not being appreciated. And I believe it's one of Pixar's films that deserves its recognition. There are times before I thought it was more overrated, but not anymore. I really feel this movie deserves to be thought of more on its artistic level and not just for having some great action sequences. Now, it's good that I got to review this movie so soon because in June we're getting Incredibles 2. So leave in the comments what you would like to see happen in that movie. And please, if you have an anime film you want me to review, talk about it in the comments and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.